Hey, welcome to Hyperlaunch. And today I'm going to give you an introduction of the full system so you can see like the big picture of how to create and structure these campaigns, these launch campaigns for your digital products. So let me share my screen right now with you. And on this side, you'll see the big action steps you need to take and the templates. On this side, on the right side, you'll find all of the templates and resources that I'm giving you so you can launch these things faster. Now, the first thing is that you see here more or less the time it'll take you to create these resources. And we get started with the belief map. And the belief map is this side here. And it's just a very simple exercise for you to write down all of the beliefs, stories, and ideas that come to your mind that are related to not only the product, but also to your audience. So this will give you an idea of how well you know your audience and how you want people to perceive you. You'll see it here about yourself, a question about what you want people to believe about you, about themselves, which is what you want people to believe about you and what you know about your audience. And finally, about your product, which is basically a few questions that will give you an idea of what you want to project to your audience with your marketing messages. We'll be talking about the belief map in deeper details, but just go into here and start reading and figuring out these things. And by the way, the belief map is something that you're going to do from your mind. This has nothing to do with researching the market on Google, social media, or whatever. This is about what you know at this moment about your product and about your audience, okay? Anyhow, let's go back and let's talk about the market research methodology that I use. You'll find it here, and it'll take you around 30 to 60 minutes to do it. And I call it the two forces. And you're going to find the frustrations, the wants, and the potential solutions that you're going to give people so that they can attain their needs, their wants, and fix their frustrations. Let's zoom out a little bit. Here you'll find how to use it. Just take a look at how I research and how I structure these things. I also give you a long explanation on how to think about these frustration needs and solutions, and finally, how to find the anecdote. So I encourage you to go into this part and start reading about it. Anyhow, you'll also find the two forces example where I give you the exact market research that I conducted for this specific course for Hyperlaunch. Cool? That said, you'll find other resources on how to research your audience, how to search on Twitter and Google and all of that. I also give you here a place where you can store your resources for any kind of website article, idea, template, or whatever you find online during your research that you just want to store for future reference. Great. Now, let's go back. Here, we also have the creating the marketing campaign. It'll take you anything between 2 hours to 3 hours to create, starting with the sales copy. Here, you'll find the sales copy either on this side, which is the simple sales copy, and of course, the advanced sales copy. I suggest you start with this one, with the simple sales page template. Why? Because it's super simple. All you have to do is remove some of these things that are within curly brackets and substitute it for the things that you found during your market research. And of course, the things that you wrote about in your belief map. So it's super straightforward, and it will take you around 30 to 60 minutes to create a compelling copy that tackles people's frustrations, needs, and provides them with an idea of what your product can help them achieve. Anyhow, let's move back and let's talk about the social media posts. You'll find them here. You'll see a bunch of templates for hype and anticipation campaigns. You'll find also for the launch campaign and whatnot. Also, how to tackle the pains and the frustrations with your posts. And by the way, these are mostly tweets. But here's the beauty. These posts, these tweets can also become stories. Stories for Instagram or individual posts for Instagram. So you could use these tweets and repurpose them for other social media accounts. Then, what's next? Then we have the emails. And the emails, you'll find them right here in the Hyperlaunch campaign folder. You'll find the sales emails right here. And all you have to do is, let's make this bigger, and substitute everything within the brackets. And of course, your product name right there. So take a look at these templates and see how they are created. And start thinking about, okay, what can I substitute for these things inside the brackets? Super straightforward, and it's mostly copy pasting and stuff like that. That said, I would suggest that even though you can copy paste these templates, I would say at least paraphrase them. So it's just not a copy paste. The reason I'm telling you this is because I've noticed that a lot of people buy templates and they just copy paste. I don't advise that. And while you can actually do that, and a lot of people do it, don't just copy paste. Use these as foundations for your launches and for your emails, and make sure to change them at least a little bit so it doesn't sound like a freaking template or it doesn't look like other people's content, okay? Anyhow, take a look at these templates, take a look at the Hyperlaunch folder. You'll find a bunch of things, the audience research, where you can have it right here instead of having it outside. Let's make this a little bit bigger. You also find the product launch checklist. Of course, there's a lot of little details that you have to follow, but the reality is that once you launch this once, you don't have to have a big checklist. It's really straightforward. The first time, I'd suggest you at least take a look at the checklists and start going through them one by one. And as you get accustomed to launching products, you don't have to have a checklist for all of these things, okay? In my case, when I launch products, all I do is I fill out the product details, the features, the benefits, the bonuses, and any additional details. Then the launch stages, which is like when I'm going to launch it at that date and a specific price. And then I just fill in all of these things. So sales copy, sales emails, and whatnot. I don't have a checklist for all of these things. I just know that I have to fill in all of these little things, complete these things, and then schedule all of the stuff. So as time passes by, you'll be able to do something similar. And that's the process. That's the big picture thinking of Hyperlaunch. In future videos, I'll be showing you how to research the market, how to use these templates in a much better way, and of course, how to take full advantage of all of these templates that I'm giving you at this moment. So happy launching, and see you in the finish line.